Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we will have a look at future tenses. Future tenses are divided in different forms, such as future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. Let's have a look at the future simple. It's used to describe future actions, and we used different forms. We can use the present continuous for something we have already decided and arranged to do. I am going to the cinema on Saturday evening. I'm leaving tomorrow. The simple present is another form that we can use to describe the future, talking about timetables and programs, transport, shows, etc. The meeting is at 9 o'clock tomorrow. My train leaves at 11:30. Another form is be going to, for something I have decided to do or for something that is going to happen. For example, it's very late. John is going to call his daughter. Look at those clouds. It's going to rain. In the future simple, we use the auxiliary will plus infinitive to describe an intended action or make a prediction, state future facts or make promises, or offer to do something. I think I'll have something to eat. I will help you with that heavy bag. Or the Queen will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. There's also the auxiliary shall, which is used mostly in questions. Shall I? Shall we? Or to ask if it's okay to do or to ask for a suggestion. Shall I open the window? Which means, do you want me to open the window? So as you can see, we don't just use the auxiliary will, the future simple, to talk about the future, but we can also use the present simple, present continuous, and be going to. Now, we used to use shall also as an auxiliary to indicate the future, but now the auxiliary shall is most commonly used as questions. Shall I? Shall we? Or to ask if it's okay to do something. Or also to ask for suggestions, or to make suggestions. Shall I open the window? Which means, would you like me to open the window? Now, the future continuous. The future continuous tense, also known as future progressive, is used to describe an unfinished action occurring in the future. This action can either begin in the future, or it can already be in progress at the present and continue into the future. The structure of the future continuous tense is will plus be plus present participle of the main verb. Here are some examples. I'll be flying to Boston tomorrow. We won't be leaving until the evening. At 10 o'clock tomorrow, I will be in my office. I will be working. The future continuous can only be used with action verbs. Now let's have a look at the future perfect. We use the future perfect tense to say that something will finish or will be completed at a specific point in the future, often indicating how long something will have been happening once the future moment in time is reached. We can also use the future perfect to make a prediction that something has or should have happened in the past. Let's have a look at the structure first, before we give some examples. We use the modal verb will, plus the auxiliary verb have, and past participle of the main verb. Now here are some examples. By October, we will have lived in this house for 20 years. The film will have already started by the time we get to the cinema. Next year, my parents will have been married for 30 years. The future perfect continuous. Like the future perfect, we use the future perfect continuous tense, also known as the future perfect progressive tense, to indicate how long something has been happening once a future moment in time is reached. It can also be used to indicate the cause of a possible future result. As for continuous forms in general, we can only use future perfect continuous with action verbs instead of stative verbs. Let's have a look at the structure. Will plus auxiliary verb have plus been plus the present participle of the main verb. Here are some examples. She'll have been waiting for nearly an hour by the time we arrive. I will have been living in this country for 10 years this November. He won't have been sleeping for very long, but I have to wake him up. So, we just finished our lesson on all the future forms. There's quite a few future forms, and they might be a little bit difficult to understand at first, but I'm sure that with some hard work and some exercise, you will do just fine and understand all of them pretty soon. I'm looking forward to seeing your progress and see you at the next lesson.